been doing a little bit of research on the JFK assassination for my upcoming video, How the CIA Killed JFK. And when I was doing this research, I came across this very interesting thought that I never actually really pondered too terribly much. But when I did come across this thought, it instantly drew the comparison between the JFK files and the Jeffrey Epstein files and the way they were handled. And this thought was, if the government claimed that Oswald acted alone, why did they not release the JFK files? Right? They withheld the JFK files for 50 plus years on grounds of national security. But let me ask you this. On terms of national security, if Oswald acted alone, completely just out of the blue, completely self-fought, acted alone, no outside members or anything, why did they withhold the files? Well, the only plausible explanation is that he didn't act alone, that there was some kind of conspiracy behind it. Because if he was a lone nut acting alone, there was no plausible way, no plausible extension timeline, Doctor Strange timeline in which national security would have been threatened by releasing the JFK files. No, the JFK files were not released because Oswald did not act alone. There was obviously a conspiracy behind the JFK assassination. And the same thing is happening with the Jeffrey Epstein files. Actually, if we go to the government website, the government itself, the FBI, claims that the Epstein files have not been released because of the victims and of victim security. And again, I just have to ask, what does it take to just take the victims out of the out of the mix and just tell the names? It takes absolutely nothing. The only reason they're not doing that is because there's very popular names that would probably shut down the entirety of Washington, D.C. if it was to be released. The current president is most likely in there. Past presidents most likely been there. Future presidents most likely been there. Democrats most likely on there. Republicans most likely on there. Anybody under the sun in Washington, D.C. is probably on there. That's why it's not being released. And they're just pulling the same stunt that they did with the JFK. Obviously, there's government officials on the JFK articles, JFK files, and there's government officials on the Epstein files, Epstein list, and stuff like that. So they're just pulling the same trick, the same one-trick pony. You just do a trick until it doesn't work. And eventually, it's not going to work. Or eventually, it'll just keep on going forever, and they'll just keep on covering up more and more stuff. So with that being said, just a very, very simple thought. There's actually just no evidence behind this at all, just common sense. But the point is, there's so much common sense behind it. It makes so much sense that it basically is its own evidence. With that being said, stay safe and stay hydrated.